Hi guys, welcome to War Party at the Outpost. My combat engineers finally came in the mail, so I was gonna unbox them. I already took a peek. They look pretty awesome. I took I took a cue from Detroit and removed my address from them, so they're so you stalkers. I'm stalked by millions of girl fans. It's out of control. I think I'm one of the Beatles. Anyway, so I got my combat engineer rules, so I'm going to share those with you guys. And but first, before I do that, I wanted to give a shout out to some new members of the community. I'm pretty excited about. There's somebody that Big E pointed out, Wildcat6305 at the Treehouse. He seems pretty cool. And then there's Corpo24, Axis and Allies. He's really cool. Like, as you know, like, Big E is going to the tourney, so that's awesome. I'm jazzed about that. I can't wait to see how that works out. Also, there's another younger member of the community. His name's TheBomb5678, and he's a smart kid. And let's see. I think that's all the new ones that I've seen recently. I do miss some of the older posts. Detroit's been busy because, he had a baby and he's a cop. It's kind of busy. But anyway, so I'm going to show you my combat engineers rules, but this is only for 42 2nd edition. I don't have the 1940 global map yet. I haven't had the time to put it up in the Outpost and magnetize it and do all that jazz because I've been going through a lot of home improvement stuff, and I just recently got a job offer doing steel work, which I think I'm going to take. And so, I'm an engineer, steel work. I love steel work. But anyway, so I'm going to take that. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have to spend with you guys. But anyway, so let's show the combat engineer rules, and after I show them, I'm gonna play test them. I've got my best childhood buddy coming over, and so I think his name's Rick. I think he and I and Lauren are going to play test these rules tonight. Hopefully, after we watch John Wick 2.
Woohoo!
And and but after we watch that, then hopefully we'll play test this on the 42 2nd edition map, which I've yet to set up because I want to get daylight and lighting enough for down here in our halfway underground bunker. Like it's too hot to go out to the Outpost, and honestly, it's a mess right now. Cigarette butts everywhere.
It's horrible.
All right. Oh wait. You know what? First, I'll show you these combat engineer guys. The Soviet assault engineers. They're beautifully done. Here's the box. Soviet combat engineers. Soviet assault group. But they're an engineer squadron. And then here are the pieces themselves, which are I was surprised. I thought there was going to be way more flash on them, because when I saw them displayed online, it seemed like there was way more flash. There's a bit of flash on them, but it is... Stop it, kitty cat. Like, there's a bit of flash on them, and he's gonna knock me.
Stop it.
Get out of here, Archer. He's our intelligence operative. Be more intelligent. Like, anyway, so these guys are pretty awesome. I think I agree. I think it was General Hand Grenade, or it may have been I'm pretty sure it was General Hand Grenade who mentioned that these are airsoft. I said airsoft. Airfix. I think. Are they? I don't know. Irregardless, like they do have very narrow bases. He brought that fact up to me like in one of the comments, but
We've
Archer!
got cat. We've got cat.
Get off of there!
Incoming.
Stop it! I'm gonna put him outside. Shut the door.
Okay.
Go out with your brother. He wants to be a star. It's not gonna do well for him keeping undercover.
No,
I'm not gonna give him 00
he's
status.
still a kitten.
If he keeps pulling this crap, I'm not giving him 00
He's still
status.
a kitten. He has time. It's
He's
all right.
not getting 00 status. First off, he needs 2 kills at least, and I haven't seen him kill anything.
You know, he's not producing.
If you want the women in the cars, you're gonna have to do some kills. But anyway, so we've got this guy that looks like he's using like maybe a stolen Panzerfaust, and we've got another guy over here with flamethrower, which looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And anyway, they're all wearing this SN42 body armor, which is cool. Like, combat engineers, we use a lot of body armor. It's not just because of explosives, it's because we do a lot of building to building, close quarters combat. But anyway, so I'm really jazzed about these guys. So I'm gonna use them. I only have the Russians so far. I saw, like, I'll show you these other pieces that I'm going to use as surrogate pieces until I can find better ones. So far, I only have the Germans. Here's the German piece. Trying to cut back on smoking, so sorry about my fingernails. He's got a shovel, so I'm going to use him, but I found a better unit. He's got a Sturmgewehr and an entrenching tool, so I'm going to use that. They look way cooler. So I'm just using this in the interim. Also, here are the Japanese combat engineers. They just have flamethrowers, and then once again they're air fixed, so they got a narrow base, so I'm gonna have to glue them onto something to make them stand up. Ultimately, everything's gonna get magnetized anyway, so the narrow base isn't as much of a problem as it might be with a classical setup. So those are the guys that I'm gonna use. Like, I'm just gonna have to put slips underneath the pieces for the Yanks and the Brits to delineate the fact that they're combat engineers. Let's see. Alright. So, here's my rules. And I need to move my little Bushido guy. I still haven't done any practice painting. Like I said, home improvement, new job coming up. Busy. But yeah, well, move my booze.
You know, priorities.
Alright. So, I don't have fancy computer graphics because I haven't figured that out yet. Because I'm real smart. Is that too much of glare, Lauren?
That's perfect.
Alright, cool. Okay, so this is ANA 1942 second edition engineer rules. This is only for 42 second edition. I haven't played anything else except classic. I haven't played global. I studied the rules, and I've got a bunch of ideas for those that will be specific. I'm going to make rules specific for each edition. But right now, I'm only playing 42 second edition, so I don't feel like fair to try to establish rules I can't play test. And tonight, I'm play testing on 42. So, here's the deal. It costs 6. Talking Tom. Just shut up. Anyway, so they cost 6, and you're like, oh my god, they cost 6. Why would they cost 6? War Party? That's the cost of a...
That's crazy.
That's an armor division. In 42, armor divisions cost 6. They don't cost 5, they cost 6, which I agree with, by the way. So why do they cost so much? Well, they only move at 1, like regular infantry. They only attack like 1, like regular infantry. But look, in the second, they attack on a 2 in the second round of combat if there's a victory city present. This reflects our specialization in urban combat and demolitions. So they attack just for the second round. After that, the surprise and shock troop value is lost. We lost our stormtrooper shock and awe. So just for the second round of combat, if you succeed in the first round of combat and you survive for the second round of combat, attack on a 2. just for the second round. After that, it goes back to 1. Defense is a 3 and a +1 to any land unit on a 1-to-1 pairing basis. So what that means is one of these little Ruskies. Well, I haven't figured out which one's my favorite pose yet. They all look pretty cool.
Strike a pose.
Vogue, Vogue, Vogue. Alright, well, let's grab this guy. Come here. And I will scalpel and take off some flash and stuff. So, before I do the PlayStation. Play testing. I've been playing too much IL-2 Sturmovik. Like, oh, that's another thing I need to post. Like, if any of you guys like to play Sturmovik, World War II, like, I'm a really good pilot. Like, it's kind of silly.
It's ridiculous.
It's ask anyone. So if anybody wants to dogfight with me or against me, like, I will try to post that information so you can do that. And I do that on Sturmovik, and we also have Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront on PS4. So if anybody wants to...
And Sturmovik's on Xbox 360. So.
Yeah, the Sturmovik we have is on 360, but... And I was disappointed because the one I really wanted to get, it's only on PC so far as I can find. But anyway, so yeah. So basically, but yeah, if anybody wants to dogfight with me, I will post the information so you can do that. Yeah. I don't think you really want to dogfight me.
Do it.
Like, so we've got a defensive 3 and a +1 to any land unit on a 1-to-1 pairing basis. So if you have an engineer here, and say you have another infantry unit, well, now instead of defending at a 2, this infantry unit, due to like entrenched positions, barbed wire, mines, all the beautiful dirty things us engineers do, now you defend on a 3, and plus your comrade on a 1-to-1 basis defends on a +1. So since he defends on a 2, normally he would defend on a 3. If you had a tank, that tank now would defend on a 4 instead of a 3. So that's why they're so expensive, because even though they don't have much offensive power, they're pretty much like regular infantry, unless it's the second round of a Victory City territory. Their defensive power is crazy. So, yeah. So that's on a 1-to-1 basis. So it's not like he's going to back up anybody except for one other unit, and it's only land units. So you can 1-1 with infantry unit. He's had too much vodka. He keeps falling over. Like, or you could 1-1 with this armor unit, or you could 1-1 with a artillery unit. But that's only land units, and it's only on a 1-to-1 basis. But still, that gives you a big defensive punch. And so that's why, I know it seems crazy, like infantry class unit costing $6, but trust me, it's worth it. Like, if you think about it, it's the same number strength as an infantry division, which costs 3. But you're bringing in bulldozers, you're bringing in landmines, you're bringing in barbed wire, and also we're smarter than most infantry guys.
He said it.
Listen, I love the infantry. We need the infantry, but they should stick to bullets instead of building. I've seen infantrymen try to build stuff, and they dig good trenches. I'll just leave it at that. But they're awesome, and they're first line of defense and offense, and I love them. But bullets instead of building, I think they should stick to. So, yeah. So, that, I guess, is pretty much the entirety of it. I think I got it all. So, yeah. So, they cost 6. They move 1. They attack at a 1 or a 2 on the second round of combat in a victory city if they survive the first round. Because I'm thinking they've gotten to the urban environment, they've gotten to the victory city. Now they're fighting street to street, which is what we specialized in. And and they defend on a 3 and a +1 to any land unit on a 1-to-1 pairing basis. Oh yes, and needed to build a major factory in enemy territory. So I know in Global 1940 you can only build a minor factory in an enemy territory because they're worried about usurpation, insurgents. But if you send a combat engineer unit there, they can build a major factory. That's what my idea is for Global. For 1942, because I'm so fixated on the engineer corps, and I don't think they're rightly represented in this game. In order to build any factory or facility in, in a foreign territory that you've just conquered, you have to send an engineer corps. You can't just rely upon local labor to build that for you. You can't rely upon the infantry to build that for you. You can't land a plane and think a bomber crew or a fighter squadron is going to be able to build you a factory. That doesn't make sense. You need engineers to build that. So, yeah, in 42 2nd edition, My House rules, you have to send an engineer to build stuff. You need engineers to build. So that's why they're so expensive. Aside from the defense bonus, which is the biggest part, it's the necessity to have those units in order to build a factory or a facility. And I'll get more into airfields and so forth, like later. And also the second round in a victory city where they can stormtrooper. That's pretty valuable. So yeah. Oh, also supporting artillery. If artillery supports them when they're attacking, they get the +1, and that stacks on top of the 2. So you got a 3, but that's just, like I said, that bonus is only for the second round of combat if they survive the first round, because now they've got to the city limits. So I guess that's pretty much it. I am going to go set up the 42 table and try to convince my best childhood friend to join my girlfriend and I in playtesting this. And I will show you guys the footage. Alright, miss you guys. Like, I haven't been around, and I know a lot of you guys have been busy, but I'm going to try to do more stuff. Alright, take it easy.